Hopefully, we'll both know. Okay, guys. I've been wanting to revisit this story for a very long time, partly because I wanted to tell more about it. When I first told this story in 2016, some of my viewers who grew up in the hood, showed me some sympathy. This is my friend Hurricane Santana, who
Yo, what's good?
he's a bro. He's not just someone who understands me, but
Mhm.
even more than that, he's someone that's a representation of he grew up in the hood, but he didn't become one of those, whatever the media, whatever people who try to keep people in the hood down, try to label them. And so that's why I
Yeah.
wanted to bring Hurricane Santana on because I've never told you this, but I went to a hood summer camp one summer. And I wanted to tell you this partly to get your perspective and also
Okay.
to hear how much of how you grew up might have been
Mm,
some like maybe what I saw is a glimpse or maybe
mm,
I saw was something different. So
mm.
a little background to people who haven't been following me since 2016. I talked about how one summer when I was living in the Chicago area, we were
Oh, yeah.
immigrants. We didn't really know America. So the place I was living in, it was very spotty. It was right next to a university. So a lot of places right next to universities, very spotty. And so there was a summer camp that my parents signed me up to. And it was pretty close to my home. That's why we did it. But what we didn't realize was it was in a very hood part of town. So this was my experience whole summer in a hood summer camp. And so I guess the first question I'll ask Xavier is, did you go to summer camp also when you were little?
Summer camp. Holy shit, dude. Oh, fuck, nigga. I don't. I mean, it was Boys and Girls Club probably for like a few months. I mean, that was my definition of summer camp. Other than that, I was out on the street playing street football and shit.
Oh, I
You
see.
know what I'm saying? So, just
I
all that.
see.
Mm-hmm.
Did anyone in your school go to summer camps or something similar?
Nah, that shit didn't exist. Hell no. Nah.
I see.
Yeah, mostly like probably Boys and Girls Club and shit. Other
Okay,
than that,
so
nah.
where you were growing up in Florida, it was called like a sort of like a boys and girls club.
Yep,
Okay,
Boys and Girls
cool,
Club. Or the
cool.
teen center they had,
Teen
and that was
center.
about it. That was
Mm-hmm.
about it. Like we out in the street playing street football and shit. Like
Mm-hmm.
I was there
Mm-hmm.
playing basketball, freaking wrestling on concrete. You know what I mean? It
Yeah,
was
yeah.
yeah, a
And it
whole
kind of
different world.
makes sense. I'm glad you told me this because Florida's a little bit more right of center, right? So they probably
Yeah,
have a little less taxpayer money to spend on these things. The Chicago area, Cook County's very left of center, so that makes sense why
listen, we're a
we
bunch
went to
of broke.
summer
We're a bunch
camp.
of how do I say? We're a bunch of broke niggas out here. You know what I mean? We're a bunch of broke niggas out here. So
So I'll tell you briefly, Xavier, about what I saw. So
mm,
the the thing that doesn't really bother me, it bothered some of my friends.
mm,
And this is because growing up in China, we get into fights all the time, right? But some of my friends, I think, weren't used to it. So the entire camp was black, and then there were
mm,
5 Asians, including me. And
mm.
so some of my other Asian friends, I remember we would talk about this years later, and we would just sort of laugh about it. But my friend was always, this is what he always didn't like. He's like, dude, when someone hit you and you told the teacher would be like, just hit her back, just hit him
Yeah,
back.
like sometimes that's how it was. Like the fight they hit him right back. The hell?
Yeah, yeah. And so my friend started abusing this system. Like he would get people to hit him, and then he'd like tell the teacher, and then teacher would be like, "Go hit him back," and then they get into little brawls because it's like, dude, the teacher gave us permission to sort of fight.
Yeah, wait, I get hell yeah. I'm gonna hit him right now.
Yeah. And then the other thing, this is what actually bothered me,
Mm,
was sometimes if a younger student, a younger camper was misbehaving, they'd have the older sibling come over and hit the younger sibling, like give them
yeah.
punishment.
Yep. Yep.
Did that kind of stuff happen in school too? Like were the teachers sometimes trying to get the older siblings to discipline the younger siblings?
Yeah. Oh hell yeah. Fuck yeah.
Okay,
Hell
so
yeah.
that stuff happened.
Yeah, but even man, you don't understand. They were disciplined all day. You see
Yeah.
brothers fighting brothers, sisters fighting sisters. It didn't fucking matter. Everybody was catching hands.
Yeah.
When I act
Yeah.
stupid, I get punched right in the mouth.
Yeah. Yeah. And the other thing that the year after that, the summer after that, I went to like a very white camp, right? So I got this compare. But man, this hood camp,
You're,
even when
you're
we're
not. You
really
see that
not
picture of school? As soon as you said white camp, the fuck? Huh? Excuse me, sir. Repeat that again. White.
even when we weren't misbehaving, dude,
Hmm.
the counselors would yell at us all the time. It's like they had so much steam just to let they were always yelling at us, man. That was
Hmm.
another thing. Like that was, they always when they are always afraid the kids that are in the minority in this case were the Asians, right? They thought it's like, oh my God, did you get bullied? It's like, no, we didn't get bullied by any of your students. We got bullied by the
Hmm.
counselors. The counselors are all yelling at us and mistreating us. And
Jesus, dude.
when I was in college, bro, I tutored briefly at a Hood Elementary School. And I remember that
Okay.
the teachers were always yelling too. They're always yelling at the students. It's like, what is up with that? Like, I
Listen, it's the
maybe I
culture,
miss.
man. It's just sometimes you gotta do it with knucklehead children. They need to get. Sometimes the parents don't yell at them, or sometimes they can walk all over their parents and shit. So they need a
So you
teacher or
think some
someone to
of
put
it's
it in
that? You
time.
think like some of those kids that I went to camp with, like they were walking over their parents a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit, a little
Okay.
bit. Because where I'm from is like you did that shit. Oh my god, your mama beat the shit out of you. She ain't damn. She
Uh-huh.
beat you like a man.
Mm-hmm.
She beat your butt like a man. Whatever they see over here, the way I grew up, whatever. Even your neighbor's mom would beat you up by association. You understand?
Wow.
So if her son got in trouble, you gonna get an ass whooping too. It wasn't. It
Wow.
wasn't just I'm with my son. It was like, wait, you're his best friend. I'm gonna beat your ass too.
Wow. So it's because
Yeah.
the community's close, right? So if the neighbor's mom knew
Sometimes it
you,
was. Sometimes it was like that, or
uh-huh.
sometimes it wasn't. You know what I
Uh-huh.
mean? It just
Uh-huh.
all varied on who you grew up with. Like if you guys were all really close, it's like it was a family friend, then
Uh-huh.
you're gonna get your ass whooped. It was
Wow.
he got whooped, you gonna get your ass whooped. Even
Uh,
regardless if you didn't do anything, it's like by association. It went
by
by association.
association.
It was the funniest shit ever. You'd be like, the fuck did I do? I'm just
Yeah.
eating gum, dude. Like really?
Yeah. It happened once where the counselors, I don't know, one day they were just really fed up with us. So we
Yeah.
played a quiet game where we had all of us campers had to sit there and we couldn't move. And if we
Mm.
moved, we would have to get our legs tied up. And so I moved. I didn't even realize I moved, right? And by association, all the other Asian kids, they're like, Jerry, Yoda, Yaya, like they were gonna tie us all up. So I
God
opened my mouth.
damn,
I
Gary
ran my
Yoda,
mouth to
Maya.
argue. The other
What kind
rule
of
is
shit
if you
is
make
that?
a sound, you have to stand on stage and cover your mouth. So I started arguing with the council. I'm like, but I didn't move. And before I could even finish, he's like, oh, you talked. Okay, you're standing on stage with all the other Asian kids covering your mouth. And believe it or not, I was so relieved because I didn't have to get tied up. I felt like standing on stage covering my mouth. I can own it, but I don't want to get tied up. That's like, that messes with me. So me and the other Asian kids stood on stage with their mouths covered just by association. They didn't do anything, just by association. So it's funny you say by association. Now it kind of
Yeah,
makes
it
sense
just
why they
depend
also
on
got pulled into it.
yeah, that's how it was, man. Like depending like when you were teaching elementary, it's also, I mean, this is a younger generation. So you gotta understand the parenting is completely different from when we grew up in the 90s. In the 90s, you got your ass whooped,
Yeah.
regardless of whatever it was. Whatever they found on the floor they could hit you with, parents would beat your butt with. It was
Wow.
that simple. But we don't talk about the legendary chancleta, okay? We don't talk about the
That's
legendary
right.
chancleta.
That's right.
That's like my Vietnam stories. When you say chancleta, I'm like, oh shit, hold on.
Uh,
We just
so chancleta, that's the way, huh?
yeah, man.
Wow. Yeah. So like none of these stories surprise you, right? Like the play the quiet game, the cover your mouths, it's getting tied up and
Hell
stuff
no,
like
bro.
that. None of
I've
that
gone through
surprises you.
worse,
Like
man.
I tell
I,
people these stories and they're like, "What the heck?" They think I'm making it up.
dude, I went through. I think I remember they called. I forget what was it. Was it like timeout. It was worse than timeout, bro. I remember they freaking locked us in one room, all the
Ooh.
lights off with mats. They're like, "Oh, you want to be stupid? Get your ass in there." They lock you in there for like what 5-10 minutes. All the lights off. You're like, "Fuck."
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow, they put you in a dark room, huh?
yeah, the dark room, and that was it. That was like, oh shit, hold on, what? I'm sorry, I'm scared. Let me out.
Wow.
Especially if some kids were afraid of the dark. Oh yeah, they put you. You want to act up, and you were afraid of the dark. Oh, you're gonna learn your lesson today.
Well, I
You're
was
gonna learn your
definitely an
lesson.
afraid of the dark person, so that would have been a good punishment for me.
Now, I remember stories. We had so many kids scream. They fight. Obviously causing mayhem, fighting and shit.
Uh-huh.
Then one teacher's like, okay, you want to act stupid? You want to fight all the time? Push them in the room, put them in the dark room, all the lights off.
Wow.
Probably five. I give it a 5 to 10 minutes solid. Dude was screaming his head off, crying hysterically. Please let me out.
Wow.
Because some of them were afraid of the dark, but you didn't know. You know what I mean? You couldn't tell because they're so. Let's fight. They're always starting to
Yeah.
fight. So it's like, okay.
Wow. And that stuff was just acceptable, right? Like it was my
We're
parents
talking,
saying,
dude, we're
yeah,
talking about school in the 90s, bro. Of
yeah,
course it was acceptable. Like, now good luck trying to do
yeah.
that shit.
Now, not
Good
much.
luck. Like, now you can't even, if as a parent yourself, you can't even say certain words or do certain things to your
Yeah,
child. Like, what the hell without the government stepping in?
yeah,
But it is
yeah,
what it is. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Exactly. Um, the the other thing that I think always made me laugh was, so sometimes we get like fun time and we watch the Power Rangers. So in
Yeah,
'90s
yeah,
we grew up
yeah,
with
yeah,
the
yeah.
Power Rangers, but like they wouldn't let us have fun. Sometimes we'd have fun, like we'd be watching the show and talking because we're so excited, and then they
Mm.
turn off the TV. They're like, "You can't talk. You have to watch." Like that always made me laugh. It's like, let the kids be kids. If they want to talk during Power Rangers, let them talk. Why? I never understood that. Why were the counts such control freaks?
I don't know. I don't know, especially with summer camp. I mean, I vaguely. I mean, my days at the Boys and Girls Club was probably the video games, the snacks, fucking sleeping. Uh, Occasionally, I think we were all flirting with girls at that point in time too. It was just childhood, bro. Just acting stupid, playing video games. We didn't give a fuck. We didn't care.
So they had video games for you guys at the Boys and Girls
Hell
Club,
yeah,
huh?
but what do you
Well,
mean,
better
bro?
better than us. We didn't have video
Hell yeah,
games.
but we still had to pay like a quarter or some shit to play video games. But
Uh-huh.
I remember playing Soul Calibur 2 arcade style, bro. Oh
Wow.
my god. I was talking about playing Street Fighter, Tekken, fucking there was one point we were playing Grand Theft Auto. We were playing Grand Theft Auto San Andreas or just all kinds of shit.
Wow.
Kids getting into fights. It was it was fun at times and it was boring at times. It had the pros and cons.
It's funny because I was really young when I went to this camp, and I don't remember any fights. I guess that you
How
know,
old were you?
um, it was the it was the summer between kindergarten and first grade.
Oh, damn. Oh,
So
damn.
like the
Yes,
kids
bro.
were all
Ooh.
elementary school students. I don't think there were any older students. I think we were all it was like a school for elementary school students.
Okay, my Boys and Girls Club days, I think it was probably middle school.
Okay, I see. I
Like,
see.
I think I was just hitting sixth grade, or
Mhm.
yeah, I was just hitting sixth grade.
It's funny. I actually did go to a camp. This was in the DC area, but I did go to a camp between
Mm,
fifth and
mm.
sixth grade. Like
Oh, okay.
compared to that hood camp experience, it was so unmemorable that like it took you like
Mhm, mhm,
mentioning that period to make me remember. I did go to a camp, but yeah, the hood camp was just so memorable. The other thing that always
mhm.
made me laugh was they tried to teach us gospel songs, right? I don't know if you ever heard the song "We Are Soldiers in the
Yeah,
Army," and like I wasn't a
yeah.
Christian at the time, so I didn't understand the
I
music.
don't I don't remember where if I was it like that. I know it was We Are Family. Um, what was the other one? Shit, dude, it's been a fucking while, bro.
So
Fuck.
you remember learning some gospel songs too, huh?
Maybe bits and pieces, but nah, we were too rambunctious, buck
Uh-huh.
wild. This is like later. I could probably say 2000. Oh God, 4 or
Okay, so
2003.
you're middle school. Yeah.
Yeah, I was in middle school, so we didn't give a fuck, man. We didn't.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it's gonna
We
be
too
too
busy
hard to
playing the
teach middle
fucking Yu-Gi-Oh
schoolers those
cards
songs.
and shit,
Yeah,
Pokemon cards. We didn't give a fuck.
yeah, yeah,
Beyblade, you name it, dude.
yeah.
Even as street kids will be playing Beyblade. Even as hood kids, we're playing Beyblade outside on the street. We didn't give a fuck.
Wow.
Street
Wow.
football on the concrete, no shoes, barefooted.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. The good old
Yeah.
days.
Yeah, it's hearing what you're telling me, like
Mm,
as much as that hood summer camp was like it it had bad moments. The fact that now that I think about it, like talking to you, I
yeah.
think they kind of did try a little bit. They tried, right? Like they tried to teach us gospel music. They tried a little bit. Yeah. So one time, viewers who've been watching this know this story, but I didn't get the music. So one time I fell asleep, and then now the counselor's mad. The counselor's like, "I'm gonna call your parents." And
Oh
my
my
mom's
God.
working at a pharmacy at the time,
Mm,
so like obviously to go to camp, we fill out these slips of like our parents' contact information,
yeah.
right? So she's all like, "Oh, I'm gonna get you, Jerry. You're gonna be in so much trouble. Your parents are gonna beat the shit out of you." So she takes me into a room. She calls my parents, my mom, right? And of course, my mom doesn't know what's going on. She got the hood accent, and my mom has an accent, so there's no way the two of them are communicating with each other. And so like,
Oh
she's,
shit.
she's like, Jerry fell asleep. And my mom's like, Jerry fell? Jerry okay? And so like
Oh my
after about
God.
5 minutes of her trying to like talk to my mom and get me in trouble, she just gave up. She's like, you know what? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And she hangs up the phone. The counselor comes back to me. She's like, man, your mom doesn't speak English well, right? And I was like, nope. So like I didn't get in trouble. It was like the counselor was so angry. She's like, yeah, I'm gonna like rat on Jerry. Jerry's gonna get
Oh
in trouble.
God.
And then
Now,
it's
see,
like
now
she
you gave
came
me a
back. She's like,
flashback.
I give up.
Now you gave me a flashback when I was skipping school. I was in middle school and my mom was there. I
Uh-oh.
got caught and my mom was there. And I was
Oh
like, oh
no.
fuck. Oh shit.
Oh
My
no.
mom's here. How do I explain this when I'm skipping school? She's thinking I'm in class. I wasn't.
And
So
what did you come up with? What was your excuse?
I came in. I think I was skipping school with like two of my friends. Fuck. Well, I think one of them had a possession of marijuana on him. What else? It was funny shit. It was some funny shit. But I think we had got. I think we got caught. I know we got caught by the school officer. They caught us skipping school, or whatever. And I think I remember she put me in the cop car, so I came out the cop car. Yeah. So I got out of the cop car, and my mom just looked at me, and I was like, "Fuck, fuck." Yes. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck. My mom over here don't know shit. Though. I'm like, I forgot it was supposed to be like a meeting today. So I'm just like, oh fuck. And this is friend. These are friends of mine. Like, of course, I've been around the, drugs and all that shit, but I never did it. I never sold it.
Nice.
So obviously, my mom looks at me. She knew about my friend. She knew everything. She looks at me and looks at him. She knew I wasn't stupid enough to do it. I would be stupid enough to fucking get framed for it because I'd be like, oh yeah, I'll take the blame and you take this or whatever the fuck. But it was hilarious, bro. It was just that reaction when you don't expect your parent to be there. You a badass getting out of the cop car. Oh fuck this shit, man.
Yeah.
Fuck, fuck,
Yeah. The ultimate kryptonite appearance there. Suddenly
fuck.
all your bravado's gone.
Everything just immediately your whole body tenses. Bro, I'm talking about I literally when I saw my mom's face, it was eye to eye. Dude, my whole body tensed up. Like, dude, you ever this is gonna get hilarious. Bro, I literally tensed up, bro. I think I even tensed up my booty hole, bro. I was like, what the fuck? Hold on. Mom's here, man. I'm about to fucking cry. Fuck, I'm so fucked right now. Bro, it was the funniest shit ever. Cause my friends were getting out of the car too. They're like, oh, you're fucked. You're fucked. They're laughing their ass off. And I'm like, little to behold, they getting their ass whooped too. It was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, because like you say, by association.
By
So
association, it was funny as shit. She just looked at me and I was like, I already knew I was fucked.
yeah.
But I was more, then I started laughing and smiling because I'm like, these dumbasses making fun of me right now. Do they not know they about to get their ass whooped too? It was funny as shit. They're like, ah, ha, ha, ah. I'm like, okay, okay. You think I got it back? Oh no, you do. Why? You want to know why? She gonna call your mom. Your mom gonna come here and they both gonna beat your ass. And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened. They called my friend's mom. His mom showed up. Both of them started beating his ass. I was like, I got beat up, of course, but it was just funny as shit. Just
Yeah.
like he's over there like la 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 la. Then she's like, oh, okay. I was like, oh, we're dead. We're so
When
fucking dead.
when you were going to school, did you tell family members about what was going on in school, or did you really like keep it like not really tell them?
They would know because I was always in the principal's office. So the principal always had to call. My mom knew, and she knew what was going on. She knew what
Okay,
was up. You know
I
what I
see.
mean? So I remember I thought it was a bad crowd of friends. You know what I'm saying? And this is 2004, 2005. Sorry, and Lynn here. Anyway,
It's
but
funny that you mostly remember the middle school days. That's so
no, I
funny.
remember a little bit elementary school.
Uh-huh.
I remember elementary school, but I think it was more of the fact that I didn't remember. I didn't want to like. I tried not to remember too much of that because I was bullied when I was in elementary school. That's
Oh,
why I did martial arts. I got into fighting.
yeah,
You know
that
what I'm
makes sense.
saying?
And
And that's
then
why I remember
by middle
sixth
school, you were
grade.
the one fighting.
Oh yeah, I started the people that were bullying me. I started bullying them when I got to
Uh-huh.
middle school.
Yeah, that makes
That's
sense.
like my little revenge arc. Like, oh, I'm gonna get
Yeah,
you back, nigga. Don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
that was it.
yeah, yeah.
Funny story. I actually got in contact with one of my middle school friends. Well, I forgot he follows me on Facebook and Instagram. He hit me up, and I was like, you train? He's like, yeah. And then I was like, he's like, Xavier, I remember when you started, bro. We've been friends since middle school. Why you acting like you didn't know I trained? I was like, I didn't know, dude. It's been a while. It's been years, like damn near more than a decade, son. I thought
Yeah.
you forgot about it. He's like, no, bro. I remember when we were beating the crap out of kids in middle school. So it was just funny, man.
What was funny about the camp
Mm,
was that it took me years to laugh at this because you when you're in it, you don't realize, but obviously there were only like 5 or 6 Asian kids, right? And
mm.
my group had four four of the Asian kids on one group, and then they put the other, I guess there's 3 other Asian kids, so 7 Asian kids. The other 3 were put in another group together. So it was like they lumped all the Asian kids together. I always laugh about that. And I guess I'm asking you, like, in your
Mm,
school,
mm.
did they try to segregate like that, or was it a little not really?
Not
Mhm.
really. I remember I was with a lot of obviously a lot of minorities.
Mhm.
There was I think a couple. It's hard to say. Was there an Asian or okay, Jesus? Was there? Hold on. Now you really got me thinking, dude. Fuck. Um. Ugh. Oh shit, you're right. You know what? You're right. We did have Asians, but they were hood as fuck. I think one was Chinese, one was Vietnamese, but they were straight. Even bro, I remember even growing up, even the black kids like, oh no, he's black. That motherfucker ain't Asian. That motherfucker's black. Like what the fuck? How? It was the funny shit. It was like, nah, bro, he was born here and raised here. He got the end pass a long time ago. It was funny as hell.
Yeah. My other friend who grew up in the hood, he was
Mm.
the same. Like his crowd was like the diverse hood crowd. Like they got all types of people.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
got all kinds of type
Yeah.
of people. You got islanders. You got, all the minorities are all in the same neighborhood, so they're all good. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I remember. I think we had a couple white people there too, so they were okay. They got the okay. You know what I'm saying? Certain things they couldn't do. They knew what was up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
So shame on that camp for putting all the Asian people in one group.
I don't know what kind of wait, is this? Oh, this is Chicago. Never mind. See, I'm from Florida, bro. I'm from South
Yeah.
Florida. We don't do
It
that
it's
shit.
interesting, and this is why it's interesting to kind of compare stories because
Yeah.
it shows like America's America, but every state's different, especially Florida versus like Cook County, Chicago. Wow, that's very different.
I was like, hold up, segregation. This ain't the 1960s, dude. The hell?
And then the second, camp had 2 sessions, right? The
Yeah.
second session of camp, 2 white kids came, and like you could tell they were like not those type of white kids. Like they're the white kids who like their parents didn't read the
Yeah.
description, so they were like white kids. So you could tell like they're from a like really rich neighborhood. It was really fun. Again, like this is the thing. The kids didn't get we never got bullied. It was the counselors that treated us badly. I always tell people this. It's like we kids, we like
Mm,
hate a lot of these things. It's learned, bro. There are
yeah.
some people who are born psychopaths, but like the majority of people, they don't they're not born the first few years of their lives, they're not just evil or hating on people. Like
Mm,
one of the stories I tell my friend who like would always like get people to hit him and then tell the teacher and then okay, now it's our permission to like do stuff, right?
yeah.
One time he's like, Jerry, watch this. Let me get our friend Yang Yang, the youngest Chinese kid. He said, let me get him in trouble. Watch. So he's like, Yang Yang, hit me. So Yang Yang would hit him with the lunchbox because Yang Yang looked up to him. So Yang Yang would hit him. And then he'd go to the teacher. Hey, I think her name was Melissa. Hey, Melissa, Yang Yang hit me. And so, of course, Melissa's like, well, hit him back. So then, like, Yoda, he went and he hit him back, right? And then later on, he's like, watch, Jerry, let's do it again. So he's like, Yang Yang hit me again. So Yang Yang hit him again with the lunchbox. And then he goes up to Melissa again. He's like, yo, Melissa, Yang Yang hit me. And so Melissa's like, she's mad now. So she takes away Yang Yang's lunchbox, like taking it from you for the rest of the day. And Yang Yang loved that lunchbox, man. So Yang Yang starts crying. And like, dude, all the hood kids came over who didn't know what happened. Like, dude, Yang Yang, what's wrong? What happened, dude? You okay? Like all of them, you could tell had deep sympathy for Yang Yang. They knew something happened. Like they knew, like probably someone messed with him. I tell everyone that story because no matter how they try to label people in the hood or they try to portray them a certain way, they all have, everyone's human. Everyone has a heart. And even at that young age, no matter how bad the neighborhood, how bad the family environment was, all the other little kids, some of them older, some of them younger, that Yang Yang saw, he was crying, someone was messing with him. They came up to him, was trying to figure out what's going on. Are you okay? I always tell people that story.
Mm-hmm. We had that here too. I remember, for example, if all your classmates were from one hood, you obviously have different hoods fighting each other all the time. So that happened a lot too. But also, if you're friends with one guy from another hood, everybody's like, "Oh, okay, we can be friends too." But this is like probably, oh God, I'm talking about pre-K, kindergarten. But as you got older, then you see the different.
Yeah,
they just start, oh, F you or F you. They start, branching out and growing up. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of the differences, right? You start seeing later.
Correct.
Yeah, but like when I went to that camp, we were still very young. Like none of us, like I don't even think I really saw color back then. Like it was after reflecting many years later that I was like, whoa, like it's a very different camp that I went to.
Yeah, true.
It's like it's very interesting to think about this stuff,
dude. We grew up in, I called it the golden era, bro. You don't see kids like that running around playing street football in the middle of the street, riding go-pads, riding bicycles with the little soda can on the back of the bicycle tire to make it sound like a dirt bike. I used to do that. Yeah, that's from the hood. We used to do that shit, make it sound and make it sound like a dirt bike or a little push scooter.
Wow.
Like,
yeah, one of the things, and now since you're talking about middle school, one of the things that I enjoyed about middle school, so in middle school, I was in a little bit of low income housing, but like, and this is something I always tell people, like, there's a variety of low income housing. Don't just associate it with one type of people, right? So like, I was in low income housing, but there were a lot of kids in our housing complex. So like, I felt like I had that experience that a lot of America doesn't have, which is like, I would get home from school and there would be like 15 kids we could play with. You grew up like that too. Like, so like you played street football and stuff. We played soccer on the grass. We played, it's so funny.
Soccer, hold on. He said football, bro. What?
Oh, you were talking about that type of football. You're talking about not football americano, but
no,
football.
I'm talking about American football. I was
you're
saying,
talking about American football.
You said soccer. I'm just like,
yeah.
What?
Yeah. Like there was a little field.
Basketball, man.
You play what?
We played street basketball too, bro.
Yeah. Man, it's just like it's so crazy because that's the one thing that the community, right? Like the Americans with the Western world's always like, oh, where's the community? Where's the community? But like in certain neighborhoods, the community's still there, and it's like, how do we bring that back?
Correct. How do we bring that back?
Yeah.
Excuse me.
You should get your wife on camera. She's the one you're talking to, right?
Yeah, she's acting a fool over here
You
doing
should
push.
tell her. Like,
You
we
want
should.
to
We
get a
should.
video?
Have
Okay.
you, Xavier? Have you
Yeah.
told her about like some? I'm sure you guys talk about how you grew up in the hood, right? Like, you've told her some stories, right? No.
She was at my old house when I was still living in the hood. How I would have to sleep with a weapon under my bed. You know, she knows. She
Wow.
knows. You know, like my friends, my best friends across the street, but also their younger brother selling drugs outside, right outside my parking lot, or right in my
Wow.
parking lot selling drugs. So she knows. She knows.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So she knows. So what is she trying to get on camera for? Why is she keep
Why?
interrupting
Yeah.
you? What is,
Why you want to get on camera, Lynn?
yeah.
Since
Tell
you're
her,
over here
why
acting
does
a
she want to get
fool.
on camera?
She's making an excuse saying her because of her hair's wet.
Uh,
She's just been balling me and making jokes here and there.
it's interesting too. One thing that Xavier told me was that when the shoes are hanging above the telephone pole, right? That's like a signal.
Oh yeah,
And
when it's above the phone line, or well, regular street line or whatever. They selling drugs. Come on, man.
yeah,
You
and
know
what's
this
funny is
the
since
crack house spot.
when I lived in the low income housing, there was a guy I saw him toss the shoes up into the telephone pole,
Hmm.
and I never understood what he was doing, but now I know. I was like, he was trying to signal to me like, "Hey, we got something here." It was so funny. Like it like finally put two and two together.
Sorry
Man.
guys. Sorry guys.
Oh, it's all good. It's we're just having fun. For those of you watching, a spectator, a viewer liked the story that Santana told about getting out of the cop car. The mom was there. If you guys have any questions, if you guys have any other thoughts, feel free to ask us. But I just wanted to share that story of the summer camp because I was like, who could give another perspective? And I was like, okay, Xavier would both appreciate that story and potentially give another perspective. So,
Man, I got a lot of
did
stories.
you ever? Did you ever, as a kid,
Mhm.
go somewhere where you felt so out of place? Has that ever happened to you?
Shit. Boom. Um, trying to think.
Hmm.
Cause I know I always try to blend. I always tried to blend in, and then not really after a while. Cause I think probably high school or middle school is when I just started going and just being who I am, being me. And
Hmm.
everybody that knew me from growing up were like, "Oh, we knew you were gonna be like this because it's who you are. It's your personality. Like we don't judge you off that. We know who you are." You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? When I started getting
Hmm.
more into rock, I started getting more into other things. You know what I mean? They're like, Xavier, you've always been wild and rambunctious and loud. Like you always been crazy as fuck. Like certain things we just didn't see it fit you because you're so, outspoken. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but how I felt, I'm trying to remember. Like it's been a while that felt out of place. Oh wait, I think was it an anime convention? Yeah, it was like 2000. Probably this is probably after high school though. This is after high school. I felt a little out of place. I was like, the fuck is all this shit? You know
You
what I
went
mean?
to an anime convention, huh?
Yeah, my cousin dragged me to an anime convention because I was big into anime to a certain
Yeah.
degree. Dragon Ball Z, of course. All hood kids love Dragon Ball Z. Let's be real. Cut the bullshit.
Yeah.
And it was Dragon Ball Z, Bleach, Naruto, and for you One Piece fans, I'm sorry, but I don't like One Piece. Anyway,
I love One Piece. I think Luffy's got the
man,
funniest attitude. He's got such a positive attitude. He
man,
believes
you
in
ready?
himself.
I'm about to drop a bomb just for shits and giggles. Fuck
Uh,
One Piece. The hell?
uh, the one thing about One Piece is it progresses a little slow. Like the plot moves along very slow, but when the plot does move, like the fight scenes are hilarious. Luffy
They're
has some
hilarious,
capoeira
but
moves
but
too.
but I kind of just got, I don't know, after a while, like after probably, oh god, I forget what arc. of One Piece. I just gave up. I just got tired of it. Like it kind of got for me. Regardless, you guys hate or not, this story needs to end. It's too damn long. I'm sorry. Fuck.
Man. So the final story I have from those camp days, and I told this in my initial reflection too. I will never forget this. So
Mm.
the we were walking around, right? So obviously sometimes we would walk around the nicer parts of town for obvious reasons. And so the counselors were leading us, and usually we would walk around the nicer parts of town to go to this park, like this really nice park.
I got a question.
Uh-huh.
With any girls, man, come on, no, you can't bring summer camp up without no girls, bro. It was at least one girl you liked.
You know, it's funny.
Come on,
The
bro.
only girl I
You were playing
remember,
with that
okay,
girls back
so
then.
I kept getting this part. I had a cut here, and
Yeah,
it just kept getting broken, the scab, because you bend your elbow or you play rough as a boy, so it like kept.
correct. Yeah,
And I remember
yeah.
this one hood girl. She was very cute too, but she was running down the stairs because her parents were here, and she kicked my elbow so hard she broke it again. And I was like, I tapped her. I was like, dude, come on. She's like, sorry. That was the only cute girl I remember. Yeah, that's the only cute girl. The other girl, I feel bad for her. She was a little younger,
Yeah.
but like when we played the quiet game where we had to either cover her mouth or get tied up, she got tied up. And
Yeah.
when she was going back to her seat, she was crying, and like the counselors were laughing. And I was like, wow, these counselors are sadistic. But like they weren't completely laughing like ha ha ha. They were more like, huh, now you know how it feels when we were kids. The
Yeah,
counselors probably had that done to them. But I remember
Oh,
she had to hop back to her seat, and then the counselors eventually, after laughing for a while, they felt bad for her, and they untied her legs. I will never forget that.
Jesus, dude.
So those are the only two girls I remember from that camp.
That's why I
I
had
think
to ask. I was like, come on, man, you talking about summer camp? There was
yeah,
at least some summer girls. Like, come
yeah,
on, bro.
yeah. The funny story. So the white camp I went to the next year,
Mm.
right? It was such a funny thing talking about
I love,
Latinas,
I
man.
love how you. Yeah, I gotta laugh. I love how you go the white camp. I was like, what is there segregation in camps now?
But it is true. Like this camp,
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
maybe only 10% black kids. So that's why I call it a white camp. And the black kids were
Wow,
like, you can tell they're from affluent families. Like
yeah,
it's, and we had zero counselors that were black. Like that's why when I think like it's not just the kid population, it's also the counselor population, right?
yeah,
But
yeah,
so
yeah.
the white camp, I remember. Wow, I never talked too much about this. I told one reflection on this white camp, but like I remember I had I'd say this was the summer between first grade and second grade, right? So I don't even remember how I knew this kid. He must have been either from he was from the after school program I went to in first grade. So he had a sister who was probably like maybe a third or fourth grader. And I remember it, no, no, on YouTube. I'm trying to watch my words. In between first grade, when I saw his sister, like she was really pretty, right? In between first grade and summer camp, I remember summer camp. I was like, oh wow, she like ballooned up. She got chunky, and I remember I was like, but in my mind, I'm like, wow, but this is still kind of hot.
God damn it, Jerry. God damn it.
So that's one story. Since we're talking about hood girls, I got another crazy story. I don't know if I've ever told this story. Did
Oh,
I tell you about that story? I was in kindergarten at the time, and this like
mm,
fifth grade girl. She was either fifth grader or fourth grader. Did I tell you about this story, Xavier, when we were
nah,
hanging out?
nah. It's my
Okay,
first time hearing it. I'm
okay, we
excited.
got a treat. So my kindergarten, it was also a hood kindergarten, but the weird thing, and this is like so representative of 90s America,
Yeah,
the neighborhood was changing. Obviously, it's that capital G word, right? Gentrification. So like from third grade downwards, all the kids were like white, but like from third grade upwards, all the kids were black. It was really, really interesting. So
that's
I went to an
interesting.
after school program because, both my parents were working at the school. And I
Mm,
remember they have food and stuff like that. And there's one girl who was in my class. She was sitting on the slide eating a cereal. So like someone's gonna hit her, and it wasn't me. I went down the slide. I avoided her, but you know what? You always have that friend that gets you into trouble, right?
Yeah,
My
yeah.
friend came from
It's always that
behind
one
me.
mother effort. Like,
Yeah, yeah, that guy. I kicked that kid's ass so many times in kindergarten because he'd always get me in trouble. Like,
hey, I hated those kids. You don't
yeah,
understand. Like, you
yeah,
motherfucker.
yeah. One time he pissed me off so much in front of the teacher, I threw a ball at his face. And the teacher was so surprised. The teacher made an excuse for me because I don't think the teacher liked him either.
Yeah.
So the
I,
teacher was like, "Oh, Jerry threw a ball on accident and hit him point blank." That's what the teacher said to the principal, and the principal came.
I'm trying to picture a very small Jay with glasses on, just chucks a ball at a
Back then,
kid.
I didn't have glasses. The glasses was the summer after first grade. Yeah, I didn't
Oh,
have glasses back then.
okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah. I was a very cute little kid in kindergarten, so I got away with everything. I got away with everything. Once you put on the glasses, Jerry ain't cute anymore. But when
So
when
he
Jerry
had
was in kindergarten, he was so cute.
yeah,
He with
he was
everything.
the little Asian stallion back in the day, bro.
Yeah. But this story, I didn't get away with it because so first time my friend bumps me, I bump her. Second time I'm going down the slide again, my friend comes down even harder, hits me and hits the girl who's sitting on the slide, and now I make her spill on herself. And so now this like I guess it's her like god sister or something, like super hood chick, like fourth grade or fifth grade, gets so mad at me. She's like goes like hood girl berserk on me, starts
Yeah,
pushing me,
yeah.
pushes me for like 3 minutes. The teacher's trying to stop her. She won't let hood girls fight, right? She's like
Oh yeah.
pushing me. And she's so freaking I've never seen someone that angry in my life before. And then finally the teacher stops her and she's still angry. She's like, "You don't ever even look at me." Oh, "Whoa." I was so scared. But like deep down at heart, I was like, "Damn, you're kind of hot, girl." And
Son of a bitch.
and then so she was part of the after school program, right? So I was a little scared of her, but I remembered all
He
the
said, "I
time.
don't care about all that. You're still kind of hot."
Yeah,
So.
because she said, "Don't look at me," right? She's like, "You don't ever look at me." She said, "Don't even look at me." So I'll be like, "Well," I would still looks at her. I'd be like, "Well, you know." One time she asked me a question, and I was like, "But I'm not supposed to look at you." I look at her. I was like, "Ooh, ooh, 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 I'm looking at you."
You're
So,
stupid.
so she was probably the first hot hood girl.
First hot hook girl.
Yeah,
Goddamn.
yeah.
I'm crying. He's like, after all that, she was still kind of hot though. So I just said, "Fuck it, go ahead and yell at her. No problem."
So yeah, I don't think I've ever told my audience that story, but you could say that was one of my first I had crushes on all types of girls, but that was probably my first black girl
Oh,
crush.
now the truth comes out. Okay,
One of my black
okay,
girl
Mr. Playboy. Okay.
crush. So yeah, if you hood and girls, that's the only one I have, the only story I have. She was so berserk, she was so angry, but it's her little sister or whatever, she got mad. But then it's like it wasn't my fault.
But hey,
My friend
now the
that
real question
yeah,
is, Jerry, were they both hot?
I don't know. I don't remember the other girl.
Ah,
If
ah.
you're overshadowed by your really hot older sister, how do you remember the other one,
There
right?
you go. That's well said, sir. Well fucking said.
Yeah. So, anyways, I'll tell you this last story.
Mm,
So, this was the summer camp again.
mm, mm,
Um, we were walking one time we were walking to this like more nice park,
mm.
and one of the campers, Latino kid, he sees this guy walking down the street and he goes up and he hugs him. And the guy you can tell is like coked out of his mind or something, like ignores the kid completely.
Yeah.
And then like we're all like, what the heck? And he's like, "That's my daddy."
Oh,
I know. It's like I
shit.
always tell that story. I'm like, damn, poor kid, man. Like he sees his dad. I don't know if his dad was like out of jail or something. Like he hasn't seen he goes up to hug his dad. Obviously, the dad knew him, right? The dad didn't go, who are you? But the dad didn't respond. The dad just like kept walking. I was like,
Man, that's fucked up.
so like I tell people this story. It's like you got to understand these things. Like when people grow up and maybe their dad's not around, it's like, oh, that messes with you, man.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, my dad left. For example, my dad left when I was what, 12. So
Yeah. Yeah. So I think the whole purpose of this talk is we have to hear each other's stories. We have to understand each other. It
Mhm.
doesn't mean make excuses, right? If people are,
Correct.
not doing their best or something, like encourage them to do their best, but we have to
Correct. Correct.
understand where we come from.
Mhm.
So like give each other some leeway sometimes, encourage each other. Know everyone's starting point's different. Guys,
Correct.
again, guys, the philosophy of this channel doesn't mean don't learn, doesn't mean don't be a good person, but everyone's starting point's different. So
Mhm.
do your best to encourage everyone. We want to uplift everyone. That's the point of this channel. And that's why I wanted to bring Xavier Santana on this channel. Xavier, I'll send you this talk later. This channel, we used to just talk about this stuff. Obviously I stopped as much about this channel because, like if it were up to me, I would love to just curse all the time, just like have a lot of fun. But YouTube made it so I had to be a little bit more careful what I said and stuff like that. So I didn't have as much fun on this channel. But sometimes I like talking on this channel. It's fun. And I wanted to introduce my audience, this audience, to
Yeah.
Xavier.
Hello,
So
hello.
yeah, exactly. So I think those are oh, one last thing about that summer camp. All the counselors treat us bad except this one guy.
Mm.
He chose not to treat us bad. He was the only nice counselor.
Ah, okay. So you
Unfortunately,
had
he was
that
my
too.
counselor, but
Yeah.
every kid, when we get yelled at too much, we'd be like, we want to join his his group.
Oh, oh, that reminds me. Oh my fucking god. Oh my god, dude. Now you just reminded me. You ever had a hot counselor?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm not the only one. Bro. The amount of shit we've done, dog.
Tell us, tell.
Yeah.
First of all, what grade? What grade?
This was I'm gonna say middle school.
Okay.
That was like the highlight. That was the highlight. Middle school. Middle school.
Uh-huh.
That was a fucking highlight.
Okay.
That was I remember, dude, we had a smoking hot freaking counselor. Oh my god. We all were goo goo gaga over this girl. We're all goo goo gaga. Really, honey?
Your honey's getting jealous?
Yeah, my wife's getting jealous over here. Really? Really now?
Was
Okay.
she Latina? What was she?
You really want to know?
Yeah. She was Asian? Oh, okay.
Ah, come on. Come on, Bobby. She was Asian Latino. The
Wow.
rarest shit you can find. We're like, oh my god. Oh my god. Oh,
Wow.
oh, oh, she smelled like peaches. Oh my god.
Okay. And
Bro,
so what would you guys do to like impress her or whatever?
oh, we would do the most rambunctious shit ever, bro. I think at one time we were playing. There was a game we were playing outside. It was like field day. We're having field day outside. It was really hot day. It was like summertime. I think it was like what? Ooh, say nine. Oh, it was like up in almost 100 degrees. Like it was up there. We're playing with water. So what we all playing was obviously, come on, bro. You know what's up. To get her shirt wet. And dude, oh my god, you don't understand the hoops and ladders we had to go through because so many counselors were around her, bro. So many counselors were around her, dude. Oh my god, huh? It was like a mission. Think of Mission Impossible times 10, bro. What the fuck? Just what the fuck? We had a bro. I'm talking about was me and like probably like at least 5 to 10 other kids. I'm talking about they go from age groups. That's how insane this shit was. I was like, what? I think 10 or 11 years old. It was all the way up to like what? 14. Bro, it was the craziest shit ever. We all made a whole plan. I'm talking about we got on. I'm crying because I'm having the flashbacks right now. It's killing me. We went through a whole plan. I'm talking about we had a little I think we made a plan like on the concrete with rocks of what we were gonna do.
Like a football play, basically. It's like you had the whole
It was like
time
a
in,
whole
you had
football
everything.
plan. It was the funniest shit. And we're like, yo, we're gonna go here, this, that, and the third. It's field day. You know what's up? Counselors will be here. They're gonna be playing with the kids. Some will be doing their own thing. Being lazy or whatever the fuck. So we had this plan to get her attention, right? I think it was dodgeball because I remember I was a jackass to throw the dodgeball her way. I think I ended up hitting her in the face. But
Oh no.
hey, but we got the job done. We did it for the culture. We got the job done. I don't want to hear shit. It was funny as hell. Cause okay, I remember throwing the dodgeball. It did it. Dude, this is like at least I counted like 5 tries. It was 5 tries because we were like, fuck, we want this one. She was the hottest counselor in the whole summer camp. So it was like, oh, we gotta get her. We need to just like kids, like you know what I mean? So it was me with that mission. I was the one in charge. One of us was in charge of being lookout, in case someone was trying to be nosy or the counselor, like, oh, what are these kids up to? Like, see what the kids are up to, whatever. What are they planning? Like, why are they so quiet? Why are they not playing with the other kids, like dodgeball or football or whatever the fuck. So I remember, I think she was talking to two of the other counselors. They were females. Uh, I think I forget they're like giggling, kaka, kiki, whatever. And there was it was during the little announcements where she was distracted. So we threw the dodgeball as I threw the dodgeball as a distraction. It was a distraction, all right. Because one of my other friends came with a water gun we had brought. We snuck a water gun on the summer kid. Yeah, dude. He brought the water gun. I threw it. He said, dee, 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 dee. Her whole I'm talking her whole shirt got wet. We're like, oh, we're losing our freaking minds, bro. We're losing our shit. I'm talking about, bro. Give me one moment. I'm joking. I can remember, bro. We wet her whole shirt, dude. I think I still have memories of that day.
Did you guys get in trouble, or was it
Oh,
like
fuck yeah, we got in trouble. Was it worth it? Was it worth it? You damn Skippy. You damn Skippy.
it reminds me, have you seen the movie The Sandlot?
Oh, wait. I'm not done. Guess what? What happened?
Let's
Normally girls wear, bras, except
yeah.
she had pasties. We lost our shit.
What?
We lost our shit. Oh, it's like the Japanese adult cartoons. Oh my god. Oh,
In the movie The Sandlot, there was a scene where
yeah.
it's a group of them, right? And the kid pretends to drown so the hot lifeguard can save him. And then like she's giving him mouth to mouth, and like he grabs her and
Dude,
like
I got in trouble. I was gone because they knew I was the distraction. I was
they knew
fucked.
you were the
I
not
was
just the
fucked. I
distraction, you were
was
the ringleader.
like, I cry. I literally fake cry. Really? What the hell?
What's Lynn saying?
Shit, it's not even what she says. It's more of like the deaf glare, like mother.
Lynn's like, you never told me this stuff before.
Yeah. She's upset.
Wow.
Anyways, dude, I remember after that incident, I think I got slapped. I've never been slapped so hard in my life. Just straight. She knew what was up because I was like, "Did you see?" I didn't because I messed up because I in the moment of excitement and sheer happiness, I was like, "You saw I distracted her, guys." I said it out loud. She was
Oh.
ah,
So the counselor smacked you?
hell yeah, smack
Wow.
the shit out my
Damn,
ass.
you got smacked by the pretty counselor.
Smack the shit out of my ass. Call my mom. Call
Wow.
my dad. Call my grandma. They all
Wow.
showed up.
Even your grandma got called?
Hell yeah.
Wow.
Listen. We all know when grandma got to show up instead of your parents, you're fucked.
Wow.
You're fucked. Okay, it's that simple. If grandma shows up because your parents can't, just grandma's gonna beat your ass way worse than your parents. I'm sorry.
Wow.
I'm sorry. There's a reason we call them legends with the chancleta, okay? We call them living legends because it's a boomerang at that point. You just don't. It's just I don't know how to explain it.
Wow.
It was hilarious. I remember I think my grandma first. I think my mom showed up with my grandma. My grandma was, bro. She was hell bent on breaking my face. My grandma wanted to break my face. My grandma wanted to break my face, and my mom. I forget what my mom said, but she was actually laughing about it. She's like, I don't know if I should beat your ass or laugh, because I'm kind of proud of you, but you're a real fucking asshole. It was hilarious. You know what I mean?
Were you kicked out of camp, or were you able to go back after you got your beating?
I went back, but then after as I got older, I think probably like the following year, I never bothered to go back because they ended up having to like it wasn't free anymore. You had to pay money now. So I was
Mhm.
like, now I'm good. Now I'm not going back.
Wow. Do you know what happened to the counselor?
Nope. All I know is that sixth grade, 2000 what 2004, 2005. Yeah, man, that was the time to be alive, bro. That was the time to be alive. I blame my cousin because it was all his fault that I started going to a boys and girls club because
Mm.
he wanted to go. He signed up. I signed up. The mother trucker only lasted 2 weeks. I was like, this is bullshit. I'm only here because my cousin told me to come here. What the fuck? But it is what it is.
Yeah, exactly. It
Sorry for
sounds
cursing
like
so much, guys. It's just two different backgrounds, man.
yeah, it sounds like one day we need to get your wife and we need to find out if she went to camp and stuff like that in the
Lynn,
Philippines. That would be
Lynn
really
went to
cool.
camp in the Philippines.
Yeah,
Lynn's
that
a
would be cool.
gangster, bro. Did you ever heard? Did y'all ever tell you that story where she punched a kid in the face and knocked his tooth out just
Uh-uh.
just for him sit taking her seat?
Whoa.
And she told me she's like I punched him right in the mouth. His whole tooth fell out. He was crying. I was like, the kid only took your seat because there's no more chairs. What the hell was your problem?
But
It was
sometimes you
insane.
need to be territorial.
No, Lynn was a savage, bro. She would tell me how she would always carry a slingshot with her to school and just freaking along her walkway. She would shoot stuff with her slingshot, including kids. I was like, that is a menace. You are a menace to society. Like, what the hell, woman?
You know, it's funny. Like I've heard similar stories from girls too. Like she's like, yeah, I always carried a pin and I would just like stab people. I've heard. I knew one girl like that. I knew another girl. She's like, yeah, I would throw. Again, Russian. So this Russian girl is a little different. She's like, we throw watermelons at people. I'm like, like because some people would throw like tomatoes. Right? She's like, yeah, oh, yeah, we did that in Russia, but watermelons. You threw watermelons at people.
Damn.
I know.
Now, Lynn was the savage when she told me, I'm like, what the fuck, bro?
Yeah.
Like, when
Yeah.
Lynn told me that story about the tooth, I made fun of her. I was like, what did he do? He took my seat, so I ran up there and just punched him right in the mouth. I was like, what the fuck?
Did Lynn get in trouble?
Did you get in trouble for that, honey? Nope. Nope. She put the little puppy eyes and got away with it. Damn murderer. God, took the whole kid, like he just fucked this whole shit up, man.
Yeah.
Like left the kid crying, bro. From what
Yeah.
I from what I heard, what she told me later on in life, he never recovered. He's still missing that one tooth.
Oh
Fucked up.
no.
So fucked up.
Wow.
I was like, damn, like how you just gonna knock the kid's tooth or you fuck this girl up for life, bro?
Yeah.
Over a seat.
Wow.
So I just I told her when she told me that story, I was like, all right, I'm gonna take your seat now. I was like, I'm gonna take your seat and I'll see what happens. She's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna punch your tooth out too. I was like, all right. I got a best with Lynn.
Wow, dude, we're
Just
going on the
lo and
hour
behold,
mark, man.
guys, lo and
Yeah.
behold, if after this live, if Jerry doesn't hear from me for the next 24 hours, Lynn got me. He took me out with a slingshot.
Man, I think we should do more talks again. What I love just talking about life, talking about society. Our society needs that, man. People need to have these talks because look at how polarized our society is. Like people
Dude,
are too used to their own bubbles.
yeah, you guys need it. They're used to being their own bubbles, and they don't also. What's I've come to realize they are also all in a box.
Yeah.
They don't think outside of a box.
Yeah.
They're thinking
Yeah.
of go to school, get a degree, get a good paying job, get married, have kids, be in debt. And
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah. And
the
it's
list
like
goes on.
the only way to learn to both have more empathy and to think outside the box is to talk to new people. And you see, there's a difference between talk to new people and like talk to new people, right? Like you gotta talk to people like me, talk to people like Hurricane Santana. You
Yeah,
don't just talk to new people in your neighborhood and new people at the coffee shop. You know, that's a selection bias. You have to really talk to new people.
yeah.
And
Like for example, even me and Jerry talking right now. Am I nervous? Fuck yeah. But that's besides the point.
yeah,
I'm still doing it. I'm still learning to talk to people.
yeah. And it takes vulnerability for Hurricane Santana to talk about his hood experience, just like I'm telling my hood experience to Hurricane Santana, and there's part of it's like, oh, maybe he's going to judge me, but it's like I'm just being vulnerable, right? So like that's the thing. I wrote a little article. It's about being vulnerable. We gotta share these things. Like,
Especially as men, man.
yeah,
We're so uptight even when we're vulnerable. Obviously, there's the pros and cons. I don't want to talk about it too much because
yeah,
I don't know if there's women watching. They'll flip. Oh, they're talking. It's like, nah, dude. We have our moments. We get sensitive too. We
yeah,
talk about life in general. We have our moments. We're not always strong all the time.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? So
exactly. So the goal is with these talks, I just want people to understand each other better. And so I think this was a great talk, and I want to do more. And beyond this, sometimes I'll do talks with like multiple people.
mhm.
So next time you should join. Like I did one talk, it was me, a guy from the UK, and a guy in Croatia. So
For
like
sure.
we'll
That'd
do more
be
talks
cool.
like that.
That'd
Like
be cool.
yeah, we'll do more talks like that. So guys, Hurricane Santana will definitely be back, and I
Heck
put
yeah,
his
dude. Heck
promotion,
yeah.
which I'm part of, by the way. I put his promotion in the description for everyone watching. Make sure to go to that and go follow him, especially if you like fighting. Okay, like different types of fights. Hurricane
Mhm.
Santana's got you. And
Yeah,
those of you who watch me from Florida, you can come to our shows in the future.
that is true. We shall see you there. Remember,
Yeah,
next show is August 2nd.
yeah,
Be
yeah,
there, be squared.
exactly, exactly. So,
Mhm.
guys, Hurricane Santana's going to be back. Go follow him on his channel. And
Yeah,
Hurricane Santana, this was awesome.
let's get it.
Yeah, exactly. So, everyone, we'll be back. Okay, we'll be back with more talks, more topics too. So we'll talk about other stuff too.
Oh,
Okay, guys.
definitely, definitely. Later, guys.